Hello. Hi, TikTok. Hi, everybody. It is Christy-Faith here tonight. Welcome to tonight's live. It is back to school time. Hello. I see everybody starting to come on in. Welcome. I am on a lot of platforms right now. Hi, TikTok. Say hi to me. Tell me what state you are from. Tell me what state you're from if you're a homeschooler, if you're not. And if you are on the fence and you're like, I don't want to start my kid in school next week, stay. And if you are a homeschooler, tell me when your start date is. My start date is not till a couple weeks from now. Hi, Instagram.
Kansas.
How are you? Woohoo! We have Kansas. I'm actually, you guys can just have a hair intervention. We can have that here. It's been a long day, a lot of Zooms today. Kansas, hey, I'm coming to Kansas in 2025 to speak. So I want you there. And I want to be like, oh my goodness. And you're like, oh my goodness. And then we hug and kiss. And then we're like, let's go to Starbucks. And then there's probably a Starbucks there at the convention center. And I sit down and I meet you. So I completely want that to happen. Okay, I'm seeing start days. We have a Monday, August 22nd. I love it. Texas, Arizona. Awesome. Welcome, everybody, to tonight's live. My name is Christy-Faith. I am author of this book. On the platforms, it's different. I'm the author of this book. Hello, welcome, everybody. You can get this on Amazon Prime. It is Homeschool Rising. This is to feed and nurture your homeschooling soul. It is from my heart to your heart. So if you do not have a copy of this yet, what a great thing to get. Read for 10 minutes as you are starting the school year. Wake up a little bit earlier than the kids. Does anyone do that? Do you guys wake up earlier than the kids? Please notice my bobby pin on this zipper. So my son is now at the age where he's growing out of stuff, and he grew out of this, and I tried this on. And I was like, this is cool.
Holly wants to know if there's an Audible version.
Yes, my book is on Audible. Yeah, you can grab it with your credits. It is. I have my decaf coffee. One of the twins made this for me right now. We have Texas Mommy here. Oregon, hi! Welcome, everybody, to tonight's live. I am Christy-Faith. I am an educational expert. I have been in education for over 20 years. There is literally not an educational problem that not only I have not read the IEP for or seen, but probably it was put on my shoulders to help address and solve, because we had a boutique learning center and consulting firm in Southern California for 17 years. So I want to know in the comments here why you guys are homeschooling. Are you homeschooling because of special needs? Or it's going to be a combo of things usually, not just one thing in particular. Social emotional health, academics. Do you just not believe in the system? I would love to hear why you guys are homeschooling. Hi, Kayla.
Oh, Hawaii.
Oh, South Carolina. Hawaii. Oh my goodness, that's so exciting that we have Hawaii representing tonight. I love it.
Kayla.
Hi, Kayla. Oh my goodness. Kayla, what are you eating right now? Kayla's always eating on our Zooms. She's in Thrive Homeschool Community. Yes, welcome everybody, and I am on YouTube and Facebook as well. Please pour in your homeschooling questions. We try to get to as many as possible on the lives tonight. This is where I am here for you to offer any advice or help or encouragement. Or if you're having if you are having a bad day right now and you're like, I don't know if this homeschooling thing is going to work, would you please let us know right now? We want to encourage you. We want to pour into you. We want to give you virtual hugs. And I am not kidding. Like, my heart, this is why I literally do what I do, is to encourage you that we all have these days. We are in the same boat with you, and help you knowing that you are enough. A lot of us, raise your hand or say in the comments, are you always wondering if you're doing enough? Or you're always on social media and you're comparing yourself to other homeschoolers and what they're doing. Let me know, because I think we all struggle with that. I go over that in that struggle in my Finding Your Why workshop, which is a pretty transformative workshop. Yeah.
Texas Mama over on TikTok I was homeschooled, but my sped girl was failed, so I homeschool as a single working mom.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. You homeschool as a single working mom. That's amazing.
Wendy,
Let's give her some love, you guys. She's over on TikTok.
Wendy on TikTok.
Instagram can give her love, too.
My daughter's autistic, and school is too stressful for
Yeah.
both of my children.
Yeah. You know, it's amazing to me that often if you get your autism diagnosis at the wrong place, they'll just treat you like you just have no business homeschooling. And part of me is like, wait a minute here. Based on issues of overstimulation, dysregulation, and things like that, isn't this classroom environment like the worst place for some of these kiddos, depending on their profile? It just frustrates me to no end. That's one of the reasons why I started Christy-Faith's list, was to find people like doctors, pediatricians, speech therapists, occupational therapists, parenting coaches who support us in our homeschooling and aren't gonna, we don't want to leave an office worried that CPS is gonna call us because someone just has wrong ideas about homeschooling. It's just not right. So that's why I created Christy-Faith's list. You can go, it's free to you guys. It's a directory. It's just a directory. Yeah.
Over on TikTok, Britt said literally every day. I think that was referring to just the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we got a million questions on Instagram.
Hi,
Ready?
Instagram. Million questions. Can I have a sip of coffee?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Do you know how many times I'm accused of my coffee being a prop? And those who know me, they're like, Christy's coffee is never a prop. Ever. I think I had... Oh, sorry. Sure, let's talk about homeschooling.
Jennifer, she's saying over on Instagram, the school was out of compliance in son's IEP. So I think that's why she's homeschooling.
Good for you. What platform is she on?
She's on the IG.
Yeah, absolutely. In my 20 plus years in ed, I have never seen an IEP executed well. Never, ever, ever. In fact, we were hired as like an extra layer over the IEP to fix what they weren't doing, can't do. And they're in breach. So absolutely. I think that if you have a kiddo who has special needs, that alone is a valid reason to heavily consider homeschooling if it is at all possible. Now, do I think everyone can homeschool? No. Do I think everyone should homeschool? No. But do I think you, if you're able to, should consider it? Yes, everybody. It's unimaginable to me how nowadays people don't even think twice about putting their 5-year-old in public school kindergarten. Like, I honestly can't even, like, that. It's not that they don't, it's not unfathomable to me that they do it. What's unfathomable to me is that people don't stop and think for a second, wait a minute, do I believe in this system? Do I want my child here for 7 hours a day, for 12 years straight? Just thinking about it for a second, stepping back. If that is not a question you've ever asked yourself, like, hey, let me throw this out there. Have you ever asked yourself, what is an education? That is such a worthy question to ask. I call it in my book in chapter 1, it's the most dangerous question, because that is the question that I asked myself back when we were running that center. Our entire livelihood was based on supporting the public and private school system. I made the mistake, right? That's kind of a joke, of asking myself that question. And that was the beginning of the end, because I had a major awakening and I just saw it all. Who else had that moment where it was almost like X-ray vision, where you just saw it, you red-pilled it? Yeah, okay. I want to hear.
Just a follow-up from Wendy. Yes, my daughter's now an AB student, but she was failing all of her classes in school.
Right.
And still being...
Yeah, exactly. And if you look, those of you, let me know on this live right now, if you have a kiddo with special needs, or maybe in the system you got an IEP or a 504. I will say this. I will shout this from the rooftops. Go to the back of that IEP and look at those accommodations. And I challenge you to find something that you can't do at home other than the therapies, right? Of course, we're not licensed speech therapists or licensed occupational therapists. Other than that, it literally describes homeschooling. Frequent breaks. Yes, we can do that with homeschooling. Quiet work environment. We can do that with homeschooling. smaller classroom. Sounds like homeschooling. It's so crazy then where we're like, well, why don't we homeschool? And they go, how dare you? How dare you? Your kid needs the system with the experts. I just can't. I can't. You guys, you're going to get me started on soapboxes, and that's not a good place for me to go. Last live, what was my soapbox last live that I got really mad about? I forget.
It was good.
Okay. Scott's here. Everyone say hi to Scott.
Cynthia says, I'm an emergency sub, but I do not like the direction school and behavioral acceptance is headed.
Yeah.
Cozy Cruiser, I need advice to teach the alphabet to my 4.5-year-old. Instagram,
alphabet to 4.5-year-old. Okay, so first off, we want to make sure readiness is there. And then also you want to make sure that you have a phonics-based program that follows the latest research in science of reading. So we don't want a lot of sight words. We're not against sight words. I don't think they're evil. I will say I've never shown any of my kids sight words and they're reading at college level. But sight words are not evil. I'm not in that school either, right? Because kind of like most words become sight words. Isn't that their future? We want them to become sight words eventually. But there are kiddos that just need that explicit, repetitive instruction. It's about 65% of students can learn to read just with regular program. And then there's that remaining percentage of kiddos that do need some sort of an intervention. So if you're curious about good reading curricula to give your kiddos, download my free curriculum recommendations. I have good programs on there for teaching your kiddo how to read. Yay!
Okay, next on...
Oh, Kayla wants you on the camera.
Like Regis and Kathy Lee?
They don't even know who Regis and Kathy Lee are.
Oh,
That's how old we are. I think it's Kelly Ripa and her husband. Now, isn't it? Who's the new Regis and Kathy Lee? Who is it? And people are like pouring out their hearts with their curriculum questions, and I'm just saying, who's the new Kelly? Who is it? Kelly Ripa, and she has a husband.
I have no
Okay.
idea.
I think it's them. Okay. Yay, Rebecca! Woohoo! You're my age. I'm probably older than you, but yes, I remember them too. Kelly. Okay, someone got it. Kelly and Mark. Nice.
Tiffy Hall was a public school teacher and became disenchanted with the system, with what they offered and what they required of teachers and students alike. Sabrina, we are in a hybrid school here from home, our own curriculum for homeschooling, because I don't like what the schools have been doing in the last few years, and I felt called to do it from home.
Nice. Yay, hugs. Can I ask you a question, babe?
Yeah.
Is the mic hooked up right now? Is it supposed to be in front of my face? Or no? Do we need?
No.
Oh, we do need it.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Is that better, you guys?
Holly, I do not agree with the school system. Never felt comfortable sending my kids
Yeah.
to sit in a classroom all day pushing papers.
Yeah.
Like they're adults working an 8 to 5.
I love that. Is that Kelly? She's my people.
An 8 to 5.
I love it. Is there something wrong?
No.
Scott's working with wires. You should see, I say this every time. You should see what it looks like over here.
I myself did online schooling in high school, so we do this now as well, but I'm not set on anything. And I know that things can change for each child.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's so beautiful is we are students of our children and we're constantly observing them and seeing what they need and giving them what they need. And those of you who have kiddos who have special needs, I just want to say an encouraging word tonight. And if homeschooling is feeling hard, even at the beginning of the year, okay, there's two things that I want to say. First off, I have to say I've been doing this a long time. My kids have never been to the schools. So I was homeschooling other people's kids, and then I've homeschooled my kids. And is that good? Yeah. Okay, awesome. And, oh, now I forgot what I was going to say. I was distracted by your awesome, handsome muscles.
Other kids,
The arm covering the...
you said other kids and my kids?
I got distracted by watching you do the plugging thing. But anyway, the other thing that I was going to say is that if you have kiddos, now I remember. If you have kiddos who have special needs, it's so important to remember that it's about how far you've come and the growth, and not constantly looking at where they're falling short or where they should be. And that is such a challenge when your kiddos are differently wired, different learners, to look at what other kids are doing or where they should be. And then we often forget and don't celebrate and forget to celebrate how far they've come. So even if that means keeping a journal, right? This is the beginning of the year. Set some goals. I'd like for so-and-so. Last year with one of my little ones, our goal was I need this child to be able to find her page numbers in her math book. It took a while, but she got there, and we just celebrated that. The other thing that I want to say, as many of you are starting your first week of school, I have not started mine. I did finally get all of my curriculum ordered. This morning was my last big batch. And I want to say that the first week, even though I layer in the subjects, I do all the things that we tell people to do, I take my own advice, I still feel like I have mono. I really do. That first week is so exhausting, and everything feels like an uphill battle, and it's like, how does this curriculum work again? Even if it's a curriculum I've used forever. And so that is typical, par for the course. Just get through it. It's one of the reasons why we say layer things in progressively, and then after a month or 6 weeks, then you'll be at your homeschooling clip. So I just want to encourage you to that end as well. Are you guys layering in types when you start your school year? Do you start kind of slow, or are you like, no, let's just rip the Band-Aid off, which that is okay too. But I'm just curious what your style is. Okay, yeah.
Over on TikTok, somebody says, my son was just diagnosed with dyslexia and dysgraphia, and I'm trying to decide what curriculum.
Okay, so we want, for the dysgraphia, one, grab my free curriculum recommendations. My first go-to, and you guys probably already know this, the most therapeutic curriculum out there for handwriting is Handwriting Without Tears. So that is what I would first tell you to recommend. It's what we used for the kids in our center that came in with that diagnosis, and we saw lots of great gains. For the dyslexia, I don't know if you have had this child. It's a boy, him. Yep. I don't know if you have had him in a phonics-based curriculum and then that wasn't working, meaning you knew you were doing all the things that you were supposed to be doing and still he's not reading. That is usually when I recommend intervention. Are you in Thrive? Thrive members get a discount with my favorite reading specialist. But if you email me, I can give you a name of somebody who I trust that can give you like a free consult and an evaluation. I'm very picky with my reading specialists, very picky. So you are welcome to do that. She does give my Thrive mamas a discount. I begged and pleaded for her to do that, and she does. I think I have a call with her soon. Don't I? For something. I feel like that's on my schedule. Yeah, question.
Jamie wants to know about history curriculum.
Okay.
5th, 8th, and 10th.
5th, 8th, 10th. I think you can kind of teach to that 8th grade. I mean, I don't know if you want to do family together. And I don't know you. I don't know your kids. But it might be fun to kind of teach to that 8th grader and do family together with living books. If you want to know some living books curricula, grab my free curriculum recommendations. It's a free download. So go ahead and grab that. You guys, I also have a free 5-minute homeschool style finder. So that is very informative in choosing your curriculum as well. So grab that and take the quiz and then come back and let me know what style you came out as. And Jules is saying, yes, she was on the oh yeah, so you can listen to her on a past podcast of mine, which is the topic was reading. I'm having her come and teach a master class in Thrive, an entire hour just on spelling, right? Raise your hand if we need more information and more help with our kiddos who they're reading just fine. Why aren't they spelling? She is going to unpack that. There are reasons why. There are things going on, and she's going to demystify this for us so that we know what's normal, not normal, Really, that's all we need to know, because we're going to get our kids the help they need. We just need to know if they need the help or not. So if you guys aren't a Thrive Homeschool community member, I highly recommend that you look at it. Check it out tonight while you're on this live. Come back and ask me questions about it. Tomorrow is office hours. I have elementary office hours at 1, and then nighttime are teen office hours. We separate the office hours with your age and stage of homeschooling. And so you can come and see us face to face, me and the mentors. And we love office hours. It's like the highlight. It's my favorite 2 weeks of the month. We do office hours the second week and the fourth week. Okay, yes, questions?
Boondock Mama on TikTok, thank you for talking about 504s. Took your advice and totally changed my son's test scores.
Woohoo! Awesome. What advice did she take? I should know.
When I simply took control as a teacher and gave him more time, everything changed. Thank you for empowering homeschool mothers.
Oh my goodness, you are so sweet. Can you save her comment for when I wake up and I'm like, why am I doing what I'm doing? Yeah. This is so hard. People are mean to me on social media. And then you can just hand a couple comments of people from Boondock Mama. Oh, thank you, Kendra. Tomorrow is Littles and Seasoned Moms. Thank you. She keeps track. I love it.
Julie G.
Julie's here? Girl. Which platform?
TikTok. First week here, and it's been rough.
Woo! You got the mono, girl. Yes. Rough. It is so rough. It does not matter how many years I've been doing this. I full disclosure, I kind of dread the first week. I kind of do. So one of my kids is going on an airplane trip, and I might start. See, this is my Jedi mind tricks. I might start the 3 girls when he's gone. That might, and just because, his coursework is like intense because he's older. And maybe I can get the girls kind of going at a clip as much as I can before he re-enters, and then I can kind of shift focus and get him started, because it's a lot of online portals and this, and we have like a 1 live online class, 1 is like a self-paced sitch, and then I'm reading some subjects to him. And anyway, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot.
We use Memoria Press special needs level B.
Yeah, that's fantastic. They've really made efforts to they should sponsor my podcast. Don't you think Memoria should?
Yeah.
If you know them, you need to say, hey, you need to check out Christy-Faith's podcast.
And all about reading pre-K.
Yeah.
And she can't remember the letter A after weeks.
Oh.
Maybe it's readiness?
It could be. How old is she? Yeah.
She said, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Somebody else says, oddballer, I think. I have very similar issue with my 4-year-old.
Yeah, none of my 4-year-olds were ready to read, and I have none of my kids have reading disabilities. So don't think that if your 4-year-old isn't ready to read, despite what those websites tell you, my 2-year-old can read. No. So they can memorize. That's not reading. Memorizing is not reading. And so they could just not be ready. It's okay if a 5-year-old is not ready. Now, what I do want to clarify, and I talk about this on the episode with Sydney, who is the reading. You guys, for those of you asking reading questions, go listen and watch that episode with Sydney, because she lets us know on that episode when we should be alarmed, when this is within the range of typical, and then when we should seek interventions. Because I am not just wait, they'll read. Oh, just wait, they'll read. I am not of that school. Never associate me with that school. It is a hill that I die on. I do not think you should have 9-year-olds that can't read. So you can come after me. You can come after me on that. So by that time, if you have a 9-year-old, for example, who is not reading, I would have that kid in with a specialist yesterday, because something is going on and we need to figure out what it is. It's not like, oh, just wait, it'll click. I hate that advice. I hate it beyond hate. I think it's egregious. I think it's damaging.
Kayla, my kid
Yes.
built a racetrack with blocks in the living room during breaks today.
Oh,
It was actually cool.
that's awesome. Kayla, did you put a picture in Thrive? I want to see a picture in Thrive.
Wendy, I can't get my daughter interested in writing TikTok. Any fun ideas would be welcome.
Wendy, writing, penmanship or composition?
And age.
We don't know.
We don't know age.
Okay, and the age. Is it penmanship or is it composition and then what age? Okay, so composition. So there is a lot that is involved. How old, Wendy? 10. Okay. There could be quite a bit. Ooh, I just got a...
Composition.
Yeah, I just saw that. So there could be a lot going on. Here's what I want to say in general that's going to help everybody here with kiddos who struggle and when you see resistance, that's pink flag. It's a pink flag. It's that there's something going on. Something is making this thing harder for them. So at 10, if it's a lot of resistance, you might want to look into, and if you've changed curricula and you've done a lot of curricula for the writing and it's still not clicking, it could be, I'm not kidding, it could be as simple as needing vision therapy. It could be needing occupational therapy with the hands. I don't know if she's typing or not. There's a lot that needs to go on in the brain regarding the processing of language and getting a word retrieval, for example. So maybe she needs an evaluation for processing speed, memory, word retrieval, or something like that. So it's really hard to tell without this is what I do in Thrive is I go back and forth and then I kind of get enough information where I can make a recommendation. But if you've been jumping from curriculum to curriculum, don't keep doing that. She's 10. And you've done that already. That to me is a sign that you need an evaluation of some sort to figure out what exactly is going on and why you're getting the resistance. It generally, a lot of parents, it's easy to think, and you probably don't say it out loud, but sometimes it's easy to think, oh my goodness, is this kid just lazy? I advise and I encourage myself and I encourage other mamas in Thrive Homeschool community to have that be your last reason because that's more of a result of something that's hard and there's a reason why it's hard in the first place. And we need to do right by our kids and figure out why they're not trying in that particular area. What makes that hard? And is that something that we can address and help them with? It could be as simple as the curriculum is asking too much. So it's not the, I was talking to Sarah Collins, that podcast is going to air, but I was reviewing it today and she talks about, doing your where you are +1. When we have our challenges for our kids that are too far of a gap, it's extremely discouraging and extremely demotivating. So that's another question I would be asking you is, okay, are we asking too much? Is it a little bit too much of a leap for her right now? And can we look at more incremental things? And I would also be asking you all the curriculum that you have used in the past and why it didn't work as well. That was a lot. That was a lot for not knowing you at all, but I think you have some tangibles to chew on and kind of investigate and look into. If you would be a great candidate for Thrive because your situation and your questions are a lot of what we talk about in office hours and try to help you get to the bottom of. And if that requires needing help or assistance, then I have a list of trusted people that I like that I recommend out to my mamas. Yes.
Cruiser, what's Thrive?
Thrive Homeschool Community is my online community where you get all of the training, advice, help, and support, and hugs, and love, and friendships that you need to build a successful homeschool that does right by your kids. I started it because a lot of reasons, but one is a lot of us are scared we're going to mess this thing up. And society's telling us, you have no business doing this. And we're already hard on ourselves. And it's really hard to do something that we really believe in and have confidence when there's voices outside telling us that we can't and shouldn't. And then there's voices inside telling us that we can't and shouldn't. But the evidence shows, and the proof is in the pudding, that we can do this, that we are enough. Homeschooling is the only job I can think of where you take it on with zero training and then are immediately criticized for doing it wrong. And I just was like, well, I've had all this experience. How can I was just asking, like, how can I help homeschool moms just have that insurance and the assurance that they are enough and they are doing this right, and homeschooling is about making those tweaks and adjustments. And so that's how Thrive Homeschool Community was born. We have master classes every month. We have 4 live Zoom calls a month. We have really encouraging community in the threads. We have a supplement that drops every month. I'm so excited about this month's supplement. So check it out. Rather than me talking about it, go to my page and click on the Thrive Community button and just read it. You'll know within 30 seconds if it's for you. It's a growth mindset girly place. So if you're a fixed mindset person, you're not going to think it's fabulous.
Nadia says, I need advice on choosing curriculum for my preschooler.
Okay. Go to my downloads. I have free curriculum recommendations, and I have a section for preschool there. And they're all fabulous in there. Also, take the 5-minute homeschool style finder. That's free. Take that too. Those 2 things will get you on the road.
Jennifer Fidel, thoughts on Charme with special needs?
I love Charlotte Mason with special needs. In fact, I had this discussion with somebody a couple months ago. We're like, okay, well, what? We get all brainy sometimes. If you had to pick a homeschooling philosophy that was the best fit for kiddos with special needs, what one would it be? And we kind of were leaning towards Charlotte Mason. Because for a lot of reasons, but especially because a lot of kiddos struggle to read, and it's so you can still progress through curriculum with reading aloud and still keep that learning. And it's such a focus on narration. So if your kid has dysgraphia, for example, they can focus on the narration while you're trying to shore up and address those motor skills for the handwriting. So I love that question. That was fun. I haven't gotten that one.
No.
Yay! Ask me a question you think I haven't gotten before, you guys. That was so fun.
Well, look at Holly. Yes, I had no support, so I felt forced to put them in school, and I was told I wasn't qualified by my fam.
Yes. They need a copy of my book. Are your kids home now? What platform is she on?
Instagram.
Yeah.
What book?
Hi, Ashley. My book, Homeschool Rising. It's on Amazon Prime, you guys. It's probably, last I checked, the publisher told me it's like 30-something% off. I think it's $20 right now, which is a great price because the sticker price on my book was $27. So I think it's $20 or $21 right now on Amazon Prime free shipping. So go grab it.
Kayla.
Yay.
Friendships and Thrive.
I know, Kayla. That's how I feel.
Jules, we love Charlotte Mason for my 4 kiddos with ADHD, speech, and other occupational struggles.
Mm-hmm. It's really easy to work around stuff. And then there's one example is the woman who came in and said she's on the special needs track for Memoria Press. There are a lot of curriculum companies that are doing that and making efforts. I also like the efforts that I am seeing from the curriculum companies to reach multilingual families. So, for example, some Spanish-speaking families, they're making, even though the workbooks are in English, they're making teacher guides in Spanish, which I think is an absolutely fabulous thing. People are making really great strides and efforts to encourage as many families as possible, regardless of your background or your kids' needs, to be able to homeschool effectively. So I love seeing that in our space. I really do. There's been conferences, Spanish-speaking conferences as well. I know HSLDA did one of those. I think they are going to do another one this year. So I really like what I'm seeing.
Holly, the old school started Monday and we didn't go. I made the decision. I'm definitely nervous as heck, but I know I can do this.
Wait, girl, did you just decide that day, like, we're not going? What platform is she on?
IG.
She's a rock star. Well, I have to hear the story. Were you planning on sending them on Monday and you're just like, I'm not doing it? Did anyone do it that way? I would love to know. My kids have never stepped foot in a school, so that wasn't the case for us. I'd love to know if you guys, like, any of you, your homeschooling journey was like, we're not going back on Monday. We're done. Or we're not going back after Christmas. We're out. I would love to hear that from you guys.
She said yes.
What? Girl! Girl! Is she scared? Does she have curriculum? Is she doing it legally?
I don't know.
Did you look at Thrive? I don't know if Massey's here tonight. Sometimes she comes on the lives. I will tell this story forever. It was when Thrive was brand new. She's one of the founding members. And she's like, I just pulled my kids. She's DMing me. I just pulled my kids. And I was like, awesome, great. And she's like, but I think I was supposed to. And then she listed her law. And I realized this girl is like this close to being out of compliance. And I remember completely freaking out. And we got her legal. We got her legal that day. Don't worry, everybody. But it does happen sometimes.
Holly said I was on the fence, more leaning towards it, and I just did.
You girl.
I'm joining Thrive.
Did we give her hugs? Did we give her hugs?
I'm joining Thriving SAP, and I'm looking at curriculum.
Okay, Holly. Okay. Where is she? I just need to talk to Holly right now.
IG.
Okay. When you join Thrive, the first thing I want you to do, don't buy curriculum yet. Let's just give us 2 weeks, okay? Because I don't want you to pull the trigger on stuff that you're not going to use. The second you join Thrive, I want you to, don't even say hi to me. I'll say hi to you tomorrow. Start the fail-safe homeschool setup. Binge it. I don't know, take 2 hours, watch like the first 4 modules or something. And in there are the curriculum blueprints. Do I have a copy here? I was just using my own today. The curriculum blueprint. And that way we can plan out per subject what you're going to get for your kiddos. And we'll get you started on like the most important things first and then make other decisions later. But once you get in, start the fail safe sometime tomorrow, in between office hours. I have to be on a podcast in the afternoon. I'll try to welcome you before everything kind of my day gets away. But that's what you need to do. Okay.
JB Jane, we're going into our second year of homeschool after public school. Best decision ever.
Yes. Awesome.
So
I love it.
I made the decision not to send my kids back when I realized it's not safe for kids with peanut allergies.
No, it's not.
Even with a 504.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
On Green Mountain, she said, do you have your kids in a homeschool enrichment program?
So this year, like a co-op, we are not doing a co-op this year. We're doing other in-person stuff this year. But we have in the past, we will in the future. So I love homeschool co-ops. Who's in a co-op? Who has started their co-op this year? I love it. I want to hear about your co-op and what you're doing and what classes. Last year we did a co-op and that one was fun. It was all electives. So period 1 was science experiments. They called it Mythbuster Science. So they kind of did it in that style. And then my girls, they were able to kind of pick classes, and my girls did calligraphy, which was fun. And that program had yearbook staff and student council and all sorts of fun things. And the location moved to where it is not a drive I can do. So, okay. Kendra, I know you have such a good co-op. I love your co-op. Oh, Jessica runs hers. You go, girl. Awesome. I wonder how my post is doing tonight on the, speaking of.
Kayla's son is doing aeronautics.
That's so cool.
Wow.
Are you doing it with Falcon Labs, Kayla? I know Kayla's in Colorado here.
Lana Higgins, lifesaver you are, and encourager
Oh.
to so many. Thank you.
Oh, Lana.
Any friend of mine or people online that ask for questions on homeschool, I send them your link.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Lana, email me your full name and your mailing address to the hello@christy-faith.com, and I'm going to send you a book plate so that you can have a signed copy of my book.
Diane, I told you a while ago I had to put my girls back in public, but I was able to homeschool again.
Yay! Awesome. I love it. How are we doing Instagram? I know TikTok. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Falcon. I thought so. That's such a cool program here. Falcon Aero Labs. Yeah.
Beck, I'm one of the moms in charge of our co-op, and we are switching to an elective style this year.
Awesome. I just love the elective style co-ops because I don't really want to be told what math to use, what writing curriculum to use. My kids are in different writing curricula. So I just like the elective style co-ops where let's just go, let's have fun, let's play games, let's have lunch and go home. Do science experiments, hire an art teacher to come in. That's my style of co-op. I love that.
Shelly over on YouTube, thank you for recommending CTC Math. It truly is a great program.
Yay, awesome. Is it sponsored by CTC today?
Apology.
It's sponsored by, Apologia. Nice. Do I have my Apologia stuff?
Not sure.
Okay. I think so.
We are in Beth, we're in a co-op. Last year my son got to take a science lab class
Oh, nice.
at college.
Yeah.
Majors at the college taught the lab class. They had art, finance.
Oh, how cool. What state is she in? What state are you in?
On Green Mountain, yay CTC Math.
Yay, CTC Math. I know. I'm starting a new learner in my household on CTC this year. I'm super excited. And as you guys know, I am able to come to you and offer you this advice for free because of our generous sponsors that truly do make my podcast possible. They make these lives possible. And I gotta say, I really, really love the people over there at Apologia. They have been so wonderful and nice, and they are extremely supportive of the homeschooling community. Last year, my girls this is what we did last year. They asked to do outer space. Mommy, can we do outer space? So this is what I got them. The reason why I love Apologia so much is it is family together style learning, which you know I'm a huge fan. It's also Charlotte Mason style. So we are talking living books, multimodalities, lots of experiments, journaling. It's really just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful program. Lots of interactive pages and full color and all of those things. The way you buy Apologia is there's different ways, but for the younger kids, you buy it by topic. So it's not like 3rd grade, 4th grade, because this is a family together style curriculum. If the idea of doing science or any subject for that matter as family together is new to you, please, please, please look into it further. It creates such a rich learning environment, especially age mixing. So your oldest child can bring ideas and stimulate the younger kiddos. Also, the older child can help you with the lessons and things like that. And then the younger children can step up and do things that maybe they wouldn't have been able to do before. We absolutely loved Apologia Science last year, and we loved the experiments as well. What I did is I did not do all of them, and they deliberately give you more than you need. This is not a program where you do everything. This is a program where you pick what you want. And so each week I would have my girls choose what science experiment they wanted to do, and then I would get all of the supplies for it. But it truly is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful faith-based science curriculum. So I encourage you guys to look at Apologia if you have not bought your science. They have other subjects as well. I know they have worldview, all sorts of subjects. Go to their website and see everything they're doing. trust me when I say this, if you are buying from Apologia, you are supporting homeschooling. They definitely go to the state conventions. They put up booths there. They pay for sponsorships for the state conventions. They truly love homeschooling. They love homeschoolers. They love homeschooling rights. And so they are a solid company to buy from.
And they're 25% off right now.
They are?
Yeah.
They're 25% off, right? Is there a coupon code?
No, I think just go.
Okay, it's site-wide. Site-wide, 25% off until what date?
August 31.
Okay, did you hear that? August 31.
Beth says, thank you for quickly
Yeah.
sharing some of the pages. Looks like something my kids would love.
Yeah, oh yeah. Kids love Apologia and the family together style. I don't do this every day. I do this 2 to 3 days a week. I kind of alternate it with history. So this is not something that you have to do every day. It's just a very relaxed, yet academic. You're not sacrificing academics. So anyway, yes, Apologia is a really great option, and they are tonight's sponsor for the live. So thank you so much, Apologia, for supporting me and my calling and helping me help homeschool mamas. And because of you guys, I'm able to come on here and pour into you with what I can. So, yes.
Corinna says, can you talk about CTC?
I can talk about CTC.
How
So
do you recommend it?
So CTC Math is a really great program for a lot of reasons. It does all of who's doing CTC here. It does all of the reason why I like it is it for me is it does all the teaching and grading for you, and it's also interactive. So as your kids are progressing through the program, depending on if they're getting answers right or getting answers wrong, the program itself is adapting because, again, what I talked about earlier on this live, sometimes when the gap is too large, it's extremely demotivating for kids. So it's able to kind of read the kids and how they're doing throughout it. The one thing I also love about CTC is it's good for typical learners, it's good for gifted learners, and it's also good for special needs learners. And the reason why is because you have access to all of the grade levels. So unlike other programs where if your child is not being challenged, that sometimes you have to buy like the year ahead and spend another couple $100, maybe up to $300 on the next year to keep your kid challenged. What CTC does is with one student, you have access to all the grade levels. That way, if you hit maybe long division and then your kid is just, it's kind of sticky, you can go back a grade level, shore it up, jump right back and keep going right along. It's really, really cool. They are also a really solid, wonderful company. They have supported me since the very beginning. I appreciate their partnership so very much. So they are podcast sponsors as well. I use CTC in my school. That's why I went to them and I'm like, hey, I'm over here. Will you help me start a podcast? And they were like, yes. So they're absolutely fabulous. Look at ctcmath.com. If you need a math program, if you are math insecure, it's a term that I just kind of made up, and you're scared about teaching math in the upper grades, CTC is a perfect fit for you. If you are a busy mom, a working homeschool mom, you just kind of, with CTC, you're just checking in on your student. You're not having to actually sit down and teach lessons. And if you are a person who maybe is not familiar with homeschooling, you probably think that we're sitting there teaching our kids, sitting next to them all day long for 7 hours. And that is not how homeschooling works. And that is not how homeschooling should be either. We want our kids to be independent as much as possible and come to us for help. And so that's something really great about what CTC does. So that was a lot about them. Happy to talk about, they weren't even sponsors, but they are now.
Can you share the special education curriculum name again? Is it Barbara Massey?
Special education curriculum?
I don't know. Was it the one that...
Charlotte Mason?
No.
There wasn't I didn't name a special ed curriculum tonight.
Barbara Massey.
Someone asked me what pedagogy I felt fit great with more atypical learners. And then I mentioned a couple companies that have made efforts to include special needs learners. Yeah.
Maybe Charlotte Mason.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, Laura, have you used My Academy possibly doing it for kindergarten?
No, have never used it. Mm-mm.
What was that one? Oh, this was kind of cool. Wendy said, my daughter's going to do an electrician trade school.
Oh,
She gets her GED.
that's awesome. I love that. Anybody here starting to rethink the college system? I had a podcast guest that was kind of in the degree-free school of thought, and I loved that episode. I found it fascinating. And of course, there are lots of reasons to be college bound. And then I am excited about the changes that are being made in terms of our society's perception on higher education and kind of demystifying a few things. Like, is it really worth it if you're graduating with several $100,000 of debt and then your cap salary is blank, and how long will it take you to pay off that debt? And starting to rethink those things is really cool. So yeah.
Holly says, I feel like a lot of moms told me they could never be with their kids all day.
Yeah.
And the other reason was that they have to work.
Yes.
I'm doing it because I love my kids.
Yes.
I want them to be surrounded by kindness.
Yeah. And this is going to sound harsh, but if you are a parent with typical kids, it's a problem. It's a connection problem, a parenting problem if you can't stand being around your kids. Like, that is something that I would address ASAP, and doing everything possible on my side of the street, in particular with my parenting, to make my home a joyful, loving place where we enjoy being around one another. I say that with grace because there are family circumstances where you do legitimately need respite from your children, particularly if they have special needs. So I am excluding that group in my statement about the parenting piece. That's why I said if you have typical kids. So, but it makes me very sad when parents don't want to be around their children, when their children are draining to them and exhausting. And I'm not talking about those early years. Those early years are draining and exhausting. You're cleaning sippy cups and changing diapers and all of that. And so I remember those days. But overall, if your general outlook on being around your kiddos is not full of joy, that's a lot to dig into, whether it's your own personal, mental, emotional health, your relationship with your children. Are there behaviors that are not serving them well? Meaning, are there behaviors that are perhaps aggravating to the world or to you or to siblings and the other family that need to be addressed? Because we don't want our kiddos to be aggravating to the world, right? We want those social, emotional skills in our kiddos. So that parenting piece is my favorite part of homeschooling. Homeschooling, because I am around my children more hours of the day, it has forced me to really double down on my parenting style because I fight to enjoy them. I fight to cherish every moment with them. And yes, I do need my breaks, but overall, we do not want to be dreading our homeschool days. We want our homeschool days to be fun and exciting and full of joy. So if that's not the case for you, if maybe you're always feeling like you're behind in your curriculum or you're behind in your school, or it's just, like fighting in your home or push back on stuff, please consider joining Thrive and come to office hours. We have Marnie there, who's a certified parenting coach who really comes in and helps with this kind of stuff. She's absolutely fabulous. You can meet her on the podcast. We have a 2-part podcast that aired last week and the week before where you can meet me and Denise, the mentors. So I encourage you to check that podcast episode out. And check out Thrive Homeschool Community, which is right in my bio. Just click the link and see what we're all about in there. Okay, I'm sure questions came in.
My set-apart life.
Okay.
Thoughts on time for learning. I'm just starting and terrified, so I need a program that will do the teaching.
I feel cornered.
On what? That question?
Yeah. Okay. My first answer is going to be, I would love for you to take my 5-minute free homeschool style finder to see if you truly are a traditional homeschooler, because that is what that program is. And you could be, and then it's a great fit. So I don't want kiddos in front of a screen all day. I don't love that about any program. I mean, and the two-dimensional, it's not my first choice. So I'm not saying don't do it. If that's how homeschooling is going to be possible for you this year, a win is a win. Do it. I wish we would have met like in the spring, and then I would have kind of coached you through a couple of things. And, like you would have gone through my 8-step homeschool success framework, and then also through the fail-safe setup, because I think you would have been in a different place, but you're not. And so this is where you are right now, and you need to start the school year. So it's absolutely fine. But what I want from you is I want you to take my 5-minute homeschool style finder. And if you don't come out as traditional, then we need to have a conversation. I want to have a conversation with you. So please do that. Anyone here, if you're scared to death and you're starting now and you don't know what to buy, first step is take my 5-minute homeschool style finder. Let's figure out what homeschooling style you are. The reason why I say that is all homeschool curricula fits into one or two of the 9 homeschooling pedagogies. So we have unit study, Charlotte Mason, unschooling, classical, traditional, all of the homeschooling styles, interest-led. And curriculum is sold kind of in those categories. So once you know your primary style, that eliminates 85% of what's on the market, and it helps your decision-making. It also helps me help you in Thrive. When someone say, Christy, what curriculum should I buy? That's what I have them do first. I have them take the 5-minute homeschool style finder. So please go ahead and do that, and then we can move forward from there. Yeah.
Garibaldi, 3 years into homeschooling, and I feel like my kids are still having a hard time recognizing me as a teacher. Any tips on how to improve this?
Is it a matter of respect? Is that the issue? Do you think? I need to get to the bottom of it.
And jumping back
Okay.
to my set apart life, will do. Thank you. My issue is not is I'm not good at math and science, and I'm worried she'll get behind.
Yeah, no, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. We can put you in programs that will teach your daughter math and science I understand. I just want you to know that I know exactly where you are right now, and I want to acknowledge the message I don't want sent to you right now is that you're doing something wrong. You are not doing anything wrong. This is how everyone starts homeschooling. They don't know what to do. They don't know what curriculum to buy. And so they buy a big box curriculum and then they implement it. So you are not doing anything wrong. In fact, this is what makes the first year possible for a lot of people. So my concern and why I started Thrive is I want to get you to kind of that deschooling 3-year mark as fast as I can so that you're building a homeschool that you really, really love, that you're not replicating the system that you just exited from and you're not replicating that at home. And so it's not, if you are a traditional style homeschooler, that is what you are going to do and that is what you should do. And I'm going to help you do that if you are in fact a traditional style homeschooler. But if you are not a traditional style homeschooler, then we need to find other things for you. And so I just want you to know that I understand where you are, and it's absolutely worth starting with that to get you started on the homeschooling road for sure. For sure. And please join Thrive. Take a look at Thrive and join it tonight.
Brainchild says, I just took the first step for homeschooling here in California.
Woohoo! Nice. Let's give her hugs. Yay! I love it.
Gail says, my 7-year-old hates school. He tends to have a bad attitude and it's a huge struggle. Help!
Okay, is that the same mom from before?
Did I already ask you that one?
Okay.
No, different one.
Yeah, I would love there could be so much going on, and I would love to have you in office hours talking with me, Marnie, and Denise about this and figuring out where things are kind of going off. I also think a lot of let me just stop there. I think that I need more information, and yes, we can rectify this. We can address this. We can help this. So that's why I have a parenting coach in Thrive, because so much of this is that, yes, we have the academics and we want to set our kids up for a bright future. And then sometimes the day-to-day is hard with the parenting piece as well. And we need to make a couple of tweaks in that area too. So.
Kate says, I just joined assuming I missed something. It sounds like you just made an exception for creating a loving home where you enjoy spending time with your children if they have special needs, which I'm assuming you don't mean the way that sounded.
What did I say?
I don't know. You make an exception for creating a loving home when you enjoy spending time with your children if they have special needs?
Oh, yeah. Sure. So, here, the mom was talking about, I was specifically making sure that I had compassion for families so that they don't feel guilty or shamed for needing respite days and respite times. That is what I was saying to clarify. Thank you so much for making sure that you heard me correctly. So because there are legitimate reasons, I don't want anyone to feel bad if they need respite for whatever reason in their homes. To me, that is a completely separate issue than maybe a parent who needs to work on his or her parenting because they don't enjoy their kids, because there are things going on in the home that is allowing for a lot of negativity. So those are two separate issues, and that's why I needed to separate them, because I didn't want anyone whose child really struggled in certain areas. I didn't want any mom to feel shamed or to feel not understood. So anyway, thank you for giving me the opportunity to clarify that. Okay, next question.
The bossy sister,
yeah.
Thank you so much for all your advice.
Yeah.
I was so worried 9-year-old wouldn't learn reading.
Yeah.
My bulb went off.
Nice. Yay. I love it.
Ronnie, is K-12 Stride a good program?
K-12 is a traditional style program, so it is public school at home. And if you test out as a traditional style homeschooler, you may enjoy K-12 for sure. It is public school at home, so you're not adapting to any of the newer or new to you or could be new to you pedagogies. So like Charlotte Mason, unschooling, interest-led, classical education. So make sure you know for sure that you are a traditional style homeschooler. There's 9 different homeschool pedagogies. So, yay.
We're getting to the end.
Okay, we are getting to the end, you guys. Please come and ask your final questions. Did that mama get the clarification she needed about the respite?
I think so.
Okay, awesome.
Is it appropriate to make my 7-year-old do math and reading on weekends? Mondays are miserable.
It's absolutely appropriate, and I love that strategy. I think that's awesome. Go you. Woohoo! We have the freedom.
How do you avoid all the curriculum clutter?
I know. I have a curriculum dungeon, and I just remove. What, and I put in the dungeon what I don't want to look at. And then once a year when I'm invited to a used curriculum sale or something, I will maybe, if I have the bandwidth, bring it. A couple of times I tried selling old curriculum on Facebook, and it was just a nightmare, having to do the shipping and this and that. And so I just give it away now when I have it. And often it's just the teacher editions because we've used the consumables already. So, but yeah, it's a lot of clutter, and we have, there's lots of things that you can do with making spaces and having, your kiddos having, we go over this in the fail-safe setup, some strategies for areas and having each kiddo have maybe a file cabinet or something like that. So it's a lot though. Raise your hand if you're like, where am I going to put all this stuff? I know. It's a lot. Okay, next.
Purple Switch is here. I love
Hi,
to see
Jen.
you live when I sit down for the evening.
Yay, Jen. Love you so much.
Uh-oh. We just lost TikTok. Oh, it's back.
TikTok's back.
Megan, wait, you skipped my question. CTC math versus Math UC for dyslexia. Barton reading program. I don't know what that is.
I do. Okay. So it's hard to, I would have to read the report, right, to know if there's more going on than just the dyslexia. This is what I will say overall, if your kiddo has special needs or dyslexia or dyscalculia or anything like that, is that it's not about necessarily finding the best curriculum for that particular learning profile. It's more about how you are adapting that curriculum for the type of learner that your child is. So, I know that CTC has a free trial. I would definitely try that. I love Math UC as well. Both are reputable. They're top on my list of what I recommend for homeschoolers. Both, you really can't go wrong. You may even want your learner to look and do some sample lessons. I'm sure you can download some samples from Math UC as well and see how I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. That's why I'm calling the child a learner. I don't know that's going to resonate with them. I don't know if they have other things in their profile that's going to make certain things more appealing or easier for them than others. What I will say, though, is that as I mentioned earlier, what I do like about CTC is that when you buy a student profile, you get access to all the grade levels so that if they do struggle, you can go back and shore up weak areas and then move on. Whereas with other programs, you can't really go back. You have to buy a whole nother grade level. So I would love, you can contact Math UC and see how they handle that. I don't know. But Math UC is a fabulous, fabulous program. You cannot go wrong with either. Okay.
Kindergarten curriculum advice?
Grab my curriculum recommendations. It is free and it's a download in my bio, and please grab that.
Megan, thanks so much for the answer. Are there co-ops online? We travel a lot, and most co-ops are seasonal.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say there are some. More of what you would look for are some online homeschool academies, and then you would sign up for maybe a year course, and so you can join in live on a Zoom once a week or twice a week. Because an online, a co-op is typically, I should say, a co-op is an all-day thing. We don't want to be on a Zoom with anyone all day. So the way that I would do it if you travel a lot is I would have a couple of online live Zoom classes so that your kid is getting that interaction and the consistency with kind of the same people, and then doing it that way, a couple of classes.
Back on YouTube, thank you. This is the curriculum clutter.
Okay.
Thank you. This is helpful. It's so overwhelming.
It is. Girl, I'm there with you. I am there with you. I cannot tell you how much money I spent over the weekend. So.
Well, we should wrap.
Yeah, we should wrap up.
Holly has a question, but she just joined Thrive, so.
Okay, so Holly can ask it tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, you guys, I think it's time. Are the kids on screens? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's get them off the screens. Let's get mommy off the screen. Let's get the kiddos off the screen. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.